Hi, everyone, and welcome to Burnout Culture. The industry sucks, but we don't, because this podcast is brought to you by guys that hate generative AI. My name is Kazuma Hashimoto, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't laugh too much because I have stitches in my chest, and I'm on Oxycontin right now, listeners. I just had a chest surgery, part 2. And, I should introduce myself. If you're listening to this for the first time, my name is Kazuma Hashimoto, and I just got done with, for what I hope is the last top surgery procedure I have to have ever.
My name's GC, and I'm
You
kind
have a
of
beautiful
I'm just
bald
here.
head.
Hi, my name is Cullen, and I was the surgeon cause I think I dropped my keys in there.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna need you to, I don't know, find a way to get them out.
It's okay. Yeah, I'll
I
get
can't
it for you
drive
later,
home.
okay? Yeah.
I can't drive home. I'm stuck in the office. Fuck.
I will say this, my surgeon, before I got my top surgery, he was like, yeah, don't worry about this. A lot of cis guys actually get this procedure,
Yeah.
for like chest sculpting, and you're gonna do great. And like he fist bumped me, and I was like, wow, okay. And Hayes.
I'm Hayes. Yes, I got
Yeah.
distracted, and I'm finally free from the mines, so I'm good.
Let's
Oh
talk
yeah, you've
about
been in
those
some
mines, Hayes.
mines.
Yeah, you've been in some deep, dark, almost deep dark-esque and very crimson mines.
And I mean mines literally in some ways, because I must have spent at least 2 hours mining materials.
Yeah, you've been
Wait,
playing
what?
Minecraft.
Because it's a single player MMO essentially. So you gotta chop trees and get wood, and you gotta mine and get iron and do all that stuff.
Tedious.
And I'm talking about Crimson Desert, which I recently
Whoa.
reviewed.
How was that? Why don't you tell us about the good old Crimson Desert?
Or the
Yeah.
Battle Crimson Desert. Or
Yeah.
the Middle
You can,
Christmas Desert.
You can go read my review on GameInformer.com if you would like. It's a very strange game.
So I've heard.
I don't usually think about scores when I'm in like the review process. I typically I do the review process, I write the review, and then I think about a score. That's usually how I do it.
Did this just pop in your head? You were just like, this is a fucking 7.
This was one of those times where like I played 100 hours of this game, and there were points where I was like, I'm giving this game a 4. I hate this thing. And then I'd see some more stuff that I liked. I'm like, okay, I'm back at a 6. And it's very unusual for me to like bounce around numbers like this. Because there's stuff that I like here. I think it does the exploration really well. It kind of has that Breath of the Wild feel where it has that sense of wonder, where you just kind of stumble on like really cool vistas or parts of the world that are cool, or little details. Like one of the town is just like a bunch of these automatons, and one of my favorite details is like you just walk by these farms, and these giant mechanical automatons have like sprinkler attachments for their hands that they click in to sprinkle the crop fields. So there's little things like that I like, but then there's just frustration upon frustration upon frustration in this game.
So I have a question, Hayes.
Yes.
Is it true that your character, Cliff, has to look at things to identify them and watch people do things to learn them? Like, for example, sowing seeds or knowing what a wheel of cheese is, as though he's never had cheese in his life.
Yes, 100%. It has this learning mechanic. So you hold like the left bumper and you look at something, and there's this gauge that comes up, the learning gauge. And if you look at something long enough and it fills, you'll learn what it is. And it typically like gives you a codex entry too. And this is for everything. This is like milk. You learn what milk is, or you learn what a bug is, or anything. And
you're literally a newborn baby covered in placenta when you play this game.
And it's a mechanic. And I think I actually kind of like this system, but I would have liked it better if they had leaned more into the character in that way. Because Cliff is kind of just a silent protagonist, and he doesn't really remark on anything. And he has no depth or character to him. But if they had made it where like he's this huge meathead that doesn't know what milk is, and like he has to learn what milk is, if they leaned more into that, it would have been fun, I think. But it's part of the thing that just feels tedious. And I think tedium is one of the big problems with this game. You don't have any fast travel points. You got to discover those. which isn't inherently a problem, but kind of the way that they pace them out isn't great.
Yeah.
The healing system is fucking terrible. Like one of the worst healing systems I've ever seen in a game.
Explain it to me.
Yeah, what do you
because I
do?
watched someone play it and I didn't understand it.
Yeah, the only way to heal is with food. So like Skyrim or something. Like Skyrim has potions and
Okay,
stuff.
but does
Survival,
Cliff
but-
get full?
No, you don't. There's no fullness. There's none of that. But
So you can just pump this
only
bad
heal
boy
with
full of
food. You
food.
can just spam food, but you have to have it. But like just having like a loaf of bread is not going to heal you a lot. It only gives you like 40 healing, which is a tiny sliver of your health bar. So to get really good healing, you have to cook meals. So you have to have all these different ingredients, and then you have to go to a bonfire and you have to cook meals, and that's how you get these things that restore a lot of health. But the problem then is that's your only healing avenue. So you end up like with the mining I mentioned, like you end up spending a ton of time just cooking because you can cook, one dish in bulk. But I really wish there was an option to just like use everything in my inventory to optimize cook, So you have to go to the fire and you have to cook over and over and over. And this, it's made worse by like a lot of the boss battles are exceptionally poorly designed to the point that they become like, do I have enough healing items to mitigate the damage to just last out the boss? So you constantly need a lot of healing items. So you're constantly trying to get food, either buying it or gathering it and then cooking. And like, there are a lot of boss battles I just didn't have enough healing items for, so I'd have to back out and go spend a half an hour getting stuff ready and then go back. And that's kind of the MO of this entire game, is just little bits of things that feel like they waste your time, that keep you from getting to the good stuff, to the exploration. And that applies to the story too, which is like, there's been a lot of talk of this game. There's a lot going around. I've seen people say that it's an open world sandbox, so it doesn't need it. Story's not important. Which, first of all,
That's insane to me. That I think
don't
we had
agree
this
with.
discussion. Yeah, I think we had this. We had like 2 posts about it where we just kind of talked to each other about it on social media, where you thought that was crazy because basically like that game's story is important and you could have a story in those open world sandbox games. And I was like, yeah, like Dark Souls. I was like, so what is it? Like you talked about Dark Souls as well. What did you say?
I've seen
Hazel?
people say
Yeah.
that like Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring don't have narrative depth, but no one sees that as a problem. And it's like,
Yeah, but it's like
those games do have narrative depth.
Yeah,
they have stories.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just because it's told in unconventional ways, people don't realize that. Like old survival horror games have stories. Resident Evil has a story. Resident Evil Remake has exactly like 6 cutscenes per like campaign. But there's still a story there, and it's told through documents and environmental storytelling. Same with Dark Souls, right? And those other games. So these games do have stories, but the fact that Crimson Desert has cutscenes specifically for story and all of that, and when I'm like seeing notes as well, like readables and everything, and they're just like, oh, it doesn't matter because the game's so big and so like open world. Why do people talk about the story in Skyrim then if it's kind of functionally the same thing?
Yeah, that's the problem with Crimson Desert, is if it really wanted to just be a sandbox, if it was like it wanted to be Minecraft, right? That would be fine. Then, you don't necessarily need a story in that case, but it has all the exploration, and then it has this surprisingly linear main story that has a ton of cutscenes and a ton of dialogue and a ton of characters, and it clearly wants you to like, it has this kind of prestige feel to it where it clearly wants you to care. It just doesn't have anything that makes you care about it. In my review, I said like the best way to describe it is if you went on YouTube and you looked up like a Game of Thrones best moments compilation. And so
you tell
get
me
like,
that, and I'm like, damn, that game is for me. And then I'm like, no, it's not.
so like you get like the big speeches from Game of Thrones, or the big moments, or the big battles, and you're like, oh, they're kind of cool. But then there's none of the depth or the writing that made all of those meaningful. So you just have this like slideshow of moments that have no depth or meaning to them. And
Cliff
that's
also, his face kind of looks like shit by comparison to the other NPCs in the game.
Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't look good.
And I know that's probably a lot to take in for people who know nothing about this game, but there's so many things in this game. It tries to do so much that it's so hard to like talk about it succinctly. It's just like it has base building and it has crafting and gathering and it has the main story and it has boss battles and it has Zelda puzzles and it has horse racing and fishing, and it's just like anything that you could think an open world game has is probably in this game.
I only found out about this game like a couple weeks ago because there was discourse about how people might handle like or might react to reviews, and I'm just like, just everything I've seen about it, it just like just the most like it's lack of a better term, it's like open world slop. It's just like we shoved everything in a like in a box and just shook the box around, and it's like it doesn't seem like there's a reason why any of these were like picked. It just they picked them because that's what open world games do. Is that kind of what you got?
Yeah. And it's hard because like there is stuff that I genuinely do like the exploration. I like discovering things and the Breath of the Wild-esque kind of just wandering and discovering things on your own. And I think the visual style is quite good. Before I learned about
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like these things, like for example, fishing, horse riding, all of that was basically just imported from Black Desert Online? Because Black Desert Online has a lot of really complex systems in it.
I think some of it was. Yeah. I do think because this game did start as an MMO, right?
Yes.
When the project started, it was their new MMO, and at some point it transitioned to a single player RPG. And so you can kind of still see the bare bones of MMO design, especially in like quest design. You know how MMOs quest design often have you like, you have to talk to a bunch of NPCs. Yeah. And you go to this point, talk to this NPC, go to this point, talk to that NPC. A lot of the quests are designed like that, kind of in the same way that Final Fantasy 16 was.
Ew.
Yeah. So you can see the bones of the MMO there. And then they kind of spliced in like a really physics heavy engine on top of that. So it's just a really hard game to talk about because it feels like everything I like has at least some kind of little caveat to it. And
does it also feel like there's interesting ideas here that if the game was just about those ideas as like a core concept would have been better than being buried underneath a ton
100%.
of stuff that feel like the quote unquote staples of that kind of game.
Yeah. Like for example, like with the exploration, if it had just taken like Dragon's Dogma has a story, but if it took a Dragon's Dogma approach where the loop of exploration is really what that game is about.
Yeah.
I think this game would have been stronger for that rather than you have exploration and then you have this really linear main story that you have to do at the same time.
And it feels kind of like they get in the way of each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Because I would go explore a few places and then I'm like, I'm a little underleveled to fight these things that I've discovered. So I need to go do the main story. And then I end up getting locked into 4 hours of main story. And it's like, I just want to go back to exploring the world,
Can you just like ignore the story outright?
Not really, because it very much like, you can to a degree, but it very much level gates you in terms of enemy strength. And I guess if you really wanted to, you could go and just grind out like materials to upgrade all your weapons and get really strong. But one of the easier ways to get like upgrades and abyss artifacts to buy new skills is through the main story. And the main story also kind of takes you through different areas of the world and allies you with different factions so that they stop attacking you. So it becomes a lot easier to get through the world as you're going through the story, essentially.
So there's like these weird like soft blockers that very clearly tell you go do the main quest now.
Yeah, it's not like the Assassin's Creed games where it's like this mission has a power level of 600. Yeah, there's no like power levels or anything.
Only the newer ones do that. The older ones don't have that, and they're much better. And yada.
Yeah, I hate the old ones. I'm sorry, I hate the new ones. The old ones. Assassin's Creed Unity, my beloved, come back. Please come back.
Are we going to address the elephant in the room?
What's
Yeah,
the
I think it's
elephant in
about
the
time.
room?
Unless Hayes has anything else to add about
No,
how the game is mid.
I've said a lot, and you can go read my review. And I was on the Game Informer show this week too, so if you want to listen to more of that, you can go there.
All
Well,
right.
I guess the topic of today's episode is the one on everyone's minds, Gen AI. It's back again.
We found
I'm gonna be
GenAI in
honest.
Crimson Desert.
They sure did, and I'm gonna be entirely honest. That NVIDIA DLS filter, I was like, oh, this looks like a shitty Meitu app like filter. And now that I've learned it's literally just a filter, that's
Mhm.
so fucking funny to me that they
Yeah.
just literally put a fucking Meitu app filter in fucking
They put it into the NVIDIA like
NVIDIA card.
drivers.
Yeah.
So let's back up
But
a
yeah.
bit. So in
Yeah,
case
to the-
people aren't in the loop, right? Cullen,
Yeah.
would you like to explain?
I mean, sure. Then
GC,
Hayes
you
can
haven't
kind
talked
of.
enough.
Too, yeah, if you want.
Yeah, GC and Hayes, you guys take control of this
Well,
conversation.
I was gonna say because Hayes actually played it, so
Yeah.
Oh no,
So-
about Crimson Desert, yeah. I
Yeah,
thought we were
quick
gonna go
and
into
like
yeah.
no. Yeah, we got to
to
talk
be-
about this first.
to be clear, first of all, like I did not know anything about Gen AI use in this game when I reviewed it and when I wrote my review.
How could you?
First off,
It's like a fucking painting in the middle of
Yeah,
a building
and
somewhere.
it seems like what happened is there is a ton of paintings in this game. They're just like all over interiors. There's certain houses that literally have like 50 to 100 paintings in them. And it seems like what happened, I'm sure they will have to comment at some point, but there's paintings that were created by Gen AI. And it seems pretty likely because there's a couple that are like very obvious, like a five-legged horse that has no head is in the painting.
See, that's my favorite one because it's like when initially earlier today, someone was like, "Hey, I think there's Gen AI in this," and they're like, "No, you're crazy." Someone posted the picture of the
It's like a guy with a weird hand, right?
Well, no, I was gonna say the Gen 1 Dolly, like 5-legged horse, and they were just like, "You sure? You sure there's not?"
That's an impressionist painting.
And so,
Yeah.
Pearl Abyss, the developer, has not said anything yet on it.
Yeah,
But
I'm not gonna comment.
a few of these paintings, it's hard to see them as anything else. It feels fairly obvious.
There's like no fucking way that an artist like made a horse that has no torso and it's just a head and an ass. Like especially for a painting that's supposed to like showcase an actual scene.
There's also, of course, there's no disclosure on the Steam page or anything about Gen AI use.
No, which still breaks Steam's new rules, by the way.
Yeah, by the new rules, like if you use Gen AI in the creation of any assets in this game, you would need to note it.
Yep.
So that's kind of the gist. And the game came out today, so people are discovering things, right?
And well, because again, it reminds me of Front Mission 3, where everyone's like, "Oh, well, there's no proof." I was like, "The proof is my fucking eyes."
Yeah,
the proof is what we're looking at.
We can see it. And they also, by the way, they made a fucking PC port of Front Mission 3, and didn't disclose it at all. And I'm gonna assume that they're not like, even after like people find this stuff out, they're not gonna fucking do anything.
Well, Steam
has assumed that like.
Steam has acted in the past.
Done anything to games that haven't disclosed it?
Yes. I can't remember a specific one, but I remember not too long ago there was something that they were offering returns on, but I can't remember what the extent of the AI usage was. So that might be the divide. Like it may be possible that Steam's rules is not the line Steam draws in the sand officially, or like, behind closed doors, if that makes sense. Where it's like the rules say this, but they'll probably not even like mobilize if it's not something egregious. Or perhaps maybe behind the scenes they're sending letters to these people and saying, "Hey, you got to take that out," or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I just think it's going to be the same thing they said for Claire Obscure. They're like, "Oh, sorry, it was a placeholder asset we forgot to take out." And it's like, you shouldn't be doing that in general. Like you shouldn't be using this shit for placeholder assets. Just put a fucking like box or something, like a fucking blue box.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Same thing
I don't
happened
know,
with
man.
the altars. Because the
altars broke my goddamn heart.
I literally bought it the day before it came out that they used Gen AI, and I honestly have never touched it since that came out.
I played it on stream. I streamed it I did a whole session with it. I turned off my stream, went to go back to play it. The next day, somebody pointed it out. Someone pointed out the AI stuff. I refunded it, and I was fucking pissed because that game had a great like concept to it, and they fucking ruined it using that shit.
Yeah, I've found it even in like I don't know, like indie horror games where I'm like, oh, this looks really cool, and like I forget the name of it, but like basically like they have this effect, like it's this Cthulhu effect where like randomly images flash on the screen, and I saw one pop up, and I was like, this looks wrong, and not in a good way.
Yep. I had that happen during Next Fest too, where I'd be looking at demos and I'd look at the page for a game and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And then I'd go down to the bottom. It's like, here's how we use GenAI. It's like, well, never mind.
Yep. And then there's like, that was such an annoying thing because like, I think a lot of people were voicing that at the last Next Fest where like, there really needs to be a filter on the Steam shop that if your game has AI Gen AI disclosures, it filters it out.
Yeah. You just get rid of it, yeah.
Because I don't want to support that, and I don't want to buy a game or play a game that has that in it. I don't even want to know it exists. I would rather not know that game exists. I'm
still fucking mad about Inazuma.
We all like there's so many like really good games that like we've played in the last year where it's like this is actually really neat. I was actually going to buy Crimson Desert. I was watching somebody play it as well. And I was like, you know what? This is like mid as hell, but this is like my kind of like dumb generic thing that
it's
has
mid,
like cool
but I
ideas.
Like her.
Yeah, like it has like some interesting ideas that like I want to play around with and I want to see how they implement it. And if it turns out it sucks, then whatever. But like then Hayes posted the article or the thing about, oh yeah, it turns out it's got a fucking Gen AI stuff in it. And I immediately just removed it from my cart. I was like, I'm not even going to bother completing my purchase anymore. Like,
yeah,
it's so,
you were really sold on it when we were watching.
I was to see what they say, if they say anything about it. There's a chance they just never acknowledge it, honestly.
They already got their 2 million sales. So they're probably like, fuckers.
They got 2 million in sales already?
Day one, 2 million.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah. But again, it's like nobody knew and they didn't disclose it, so that's dishonest. I personally think more people should throw up a stink about this and get Steam's attention on it, but whether or not Steam actually moves on that is
it depends how things are seen too, because like the alter stuff blew up a little bit, but most people I know never heard anything about the Expedition 33 stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because nobody wanted to talk about Expedition 33 having it because it was the industry darling.
Yeah, it was convenient.
That's the problem. Yeah.
I guess on that note, on that note,
speaking of industry darlings,
do you want to talk about them specific? I guess we should, because like,
we could talk about everything about it. I just didn't think, well, again, and maybe I'm naive, but I just didn't think that the way we all learned about DLSS 5 is that Digital Foundry showed their entire ass.
Oh yeah.
As having no taste in art and no functioning eyeballs.
So for people that don't know, NVIDIA announced their new DLSS 5 quote unquote technology. And Digital Foundry put out a report. Cullen, take it away.
Or I took it. You started talking, so I took a sip.
Okay, I'll just keep going for a little bit more. I'll go for a little bit more.
I got ice in my mouth.
They put out a video that was basically glazing. There's no other term for this. I personally don't even believe this is like, even if I were to assume that the technology was actually legitimate
and doing what they say they did,
and doing what they say they were doing, which it's not. That video is not a critical look at a piece of technology.
No, I don't know how anyone can watch that video and say, "Oh man, this looks incredible."
Yeah.
Okay. I can. I'll provide a little bit of context.
So yeah, because I didn't watch the video.
So they basically, they were saying, at GDC, NVIDIA,
It was
scheduled.
GTC. It was at.
Wait, what?
Clarify. It was at GTC, wasn't it?
I thought it was just GDC, but I don't know. Basically, regardless, they did this like the NVIDIA had Rich and Oliver from Digital Foundry get into a hotel room and look at some games with DLSS 5. And the pitch we got from Digital Foundry on this was basically that it was some like really complicated like new version that takes geometry into consideration and lighting and all the, like, they were saying every buzzword possible to glaze this stuff. And immediately we can tell that this is just using GenAI. Like,
Yeah,
I think
that
we found out later that it is just a filter, but at the time, you know, they were like, yeah, it's using GenAI for the faces, but it's figuring out lighting for every other thing. And it's, you know, in real time, it's changing the look of it to make everything more realistic. And like, they were incredibly uncritical, and the way they presented themselves made it seem like an ad. We found out later that it was not. And I think that's worse.
Yes.
To glaze that much and not even get a bag is
it's damning. It's damning.
Well, there were,
especially,
weren't there members of Digital Foundry that didn't know anything about this
Yes.
video coming out?
Yes.
So it was Alex and John
They
at
didn't
DF
know.
did not know, which
I don't know how you wouldn't know.
Because I feel like people talk in, like, they definitely have like a Teams or something. Like,
You work together, you talk together. You're not that big of a team, you know, like there's got to be some amount of correspondence.
we don't even make money off of this podcast, and I know when GC poops.
Yeah.
Like, because he's
Okay.
always talking. He's like, oh,
But-
big one today.
Yeah, well, that's because we're really close friends. We're not colleagues.
But those people met each other. Those people have known each other for a long time. But
Yeah,
even in a work environment, you would be like,
hey, what are you
you
doing?
would be like,
how's
hey,
this?
for instance, when we upload the podcast, hey, when is the podcast going to be ready on Tuesday? Yes, it is going to be ready on Tuesday. I am editing it now. I am uploading it now. Is the thumbnail art going to be ready? Yes, no. Okay, I will make a quick one, and we'll just put this up without like a big drawing. You know, here it is. I'm waiting for the spot. Like, when you work with people, even if you're doing something for free, even if you're not making any money, even if it's all volunteer work, you're organized, you're coordinated. You want to know what's going up on the channel that you all run together.
Also, like, I'm sorry, like, it's
Just
Digital
naturally.
Foundry. They're all really big fans of DLSS, and they talk about it in all their videos. I'm sure that they got some kind of like notice, like, hey guys, we saw DLSS 5, but like, that's besides the point. The real thing that matters is that very publicly, basically half of DF does not like this and thinks it looks bad. But on the showcase for that, they were just glazing it, and they were saying, this looks, every single time we turn DLSS on, the 5, it looks better than the original. And the reality is, we got a bunch of yassified misogyny GenAI filters over everything.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know what one of these filters looks like, is they basically turned Grace into Tilly, like Grace from RE9 into Tilly Norwood, like the AI actress who sang a fake song that's out of like the We Are the Charlie Kirk song. But a lot of these faces that get generated are based off of women who work in the sex industry.
Yes, porn stars, adult
Yeah,
actresses.
yeah, adult actresses, porn stars, lifting from OnlyFans. So all of these faces generally have the same sort of, and this is going to be, I guess, a callback or throwback to some people. Belle Delphine.
Oh man.
You can tell because they all have Belle Delphine's nose.
Mm.
Like, so it's very obvious that when they were using this filter on this character, it is something drawn from the porn industry.
Yeah.
And moreover, you know, digital, like to continue the story, they put out this video, everyone sees it, and everyone goes, that is a fucking GenAI filter. Literally everybody on the internet. I don't think there was like a single fucking person who was like, oh, it's like doing like some sort of rendering technique. Everyone went, that is just an AI filter.
No,
It's just
filter.
you got
And
people on fucking like the darkest parts of Twitter, like the blue check marks, the like, you know, usually the guys who would glaze this be like,
The
this looks
people
awful.
who are left on Twitter.
Yeah, literally everyone hated this. Everyone.
Well, the thing is, like, if you just watch the footage, if you see the people talking and moving their heads, it's the exact same way that like AI generated people do. It's
Yeah,
straight
it
up.
looks terrible.
Yeah, I don't. Bad.
Saw someone pointed out too that it drastically changes the lighting in games too. It like totally blows it out. But there's one shot from Assassin's Creed Shadows where it's a forest and they put the filter on and it literally erases the shadows of every tree.
The fact that DF would look at this and be like, this is better, like, it befuddles the brain, because literally, like, there is no realistic lighting. There is no more lighting. There's no more shadows. There's no detail in anything anymore. And also, every single character it GenAI'd up is just visibly worse. And also, it's hard not to notice that all the people of color have lighter skin in this.
Yeah.
It's like,
because all the Gen AI models are trained off of a large data set, and guess what's in most of those data sets? What's the majority? It's white people. White people make up the majority of the data set because there's more of you. Anyway, or not.
It's just like every single part is bad. There's nothing better about this. Like, if you want to say that, like, technologically it's impressive that you're able to generate these in real time on a different graphics card, sure, I guess you could have that conversation, but also because
we should talk about what it requires.
That's the other part of this, is that they had to use two 5090s for this on a custom build.
Wait, two 5090s?
Yes. It takes one 5090 to run the game and a separate 5090 just to Gen AI in real time.
And they're trying to say that, like, eventually we'll be able to get it to process on one graphics card.
It's so funny how they had to, like, you know, kind of keep this like on a level of just like, what is it? Like couch it? What? I don't know. But like, just like try to be like, no, but guys, it's like early. It's like really early, and you know, it's not finished. I'm like, no, it's not. It's never going to be finished in a way anyone likes this.
It's never going to be finished because it's all just speculative shit. That's what the fucking tech industry runs off of now. Like, they're never going to fucking refine this.
The other important part to point out is I saw Kotaku did a report on this. They talked to devs because they came out with this stuff and they said, like, oh, we're already working with like Capcom and Bethesda and like a bunch of, they stated all these different studios. And most of the devs that they mentioned said, like, oh, they've talked to us about it, but we didn't know this is how it was implemented.
Like Capcom specifically, right?
Yeah, Capcom specifically was one that just did not know that this is how it was being used.
Which is crazy because they like on the like one of the announcement articles NVIDIA made, it's like DLSS 5 is coming to Resident Evil Requiem. I'm like, are you sure about that? Or did you use it to
and then just say
Jedi some bullshit?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you got permission, but like it's I think the one of the more important parts about this is like that 5090 thing, because it's like, so like a 5090, like does anyone here know how much a 5090 costs?
$4,000.
Like what? Like $3,000 or something?
Yeah, about like $4,000.
Yeah.
So you need to buy 2 of these just to get this to run. They say they want to get it running on one card, but like, all right. Because of a problem that Gen AI caused, which is the chip shortage, which made all tech more expensive, including graphics cards and anything else you need on a PC just to get to run this. They are putting all this work in for something that not only everyone hates, but that most people literally cannot use. Like, the average gamer is never going to be able to hit the specs needed to do this bullshit. Which is why I am so mad that this is what they want to do with DLSS. Because while it is very easy to be like, oh, DLSS bad, DLSS is an amazing piece of technology. Like the everything before
The
5.
previous versions, yeah.
Because
predictive frame generation.
Well, I'm not even talking about frame gen. I'm talking about like upscaling. The way that like because honestly, frame gen is ass. Trash, garbage, throw it out. Like I remember people be like, no, you can turn frame gen on to Monster Hunter Wilds. And I'm like, cool, then that just means that half of the frames I'm getting are fake.
Yeah.
No.
But it did
like
upscaling really well.
The upscaler on DLSS, like I've been, because I'm the Switch guy. I play most of my games on Switch 2 now.
Yeah,
you play Resident Evil Requiem, which uses like the DLSS, because like Switch 2 has like some kind of like fancy version of DLSS, and it's just like it's magic. Like the way they like upscale this stuff from low resolutions just to get it to run good on like hardware like this is incredible. If they were to keep iterating on DLSS 4, and I think we're in 4.5 right now, it's just like it's such an important piece of technology. And it's like, if they continue to go in this direction with DLSS, basically just being all GenAI, like, I think we've already talked about this, but it's literally like we got proof now because, funny enough, we had to hear 50 different contradicting reports on it. But what it is it just takes the final 2D image that is rendered and just GenAIs it. That is all it does.
Yeah. So the image on your screen, it takes the frame of that image, like the full rendered frame, and then just puts like a Snapchat filter over it. That's basically what it is. It's a fucking Snapchat filter over the actual rendering process that your card is doing. And the fact that requires an entirely separate, dedicated graphics card is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jensen, NVIDIA's CEO got very defensive over it too.
Well, he gets defensive over everything.
Came out with a statement of like, well, everyone's wrong, and we're
gamers just don't get it.
Incredible technology. Yeah.
My consumer base doesn't understand what I'm giving them. That's why they have to buy my product, so that they realize they're wrong.
Which is like so funny because like these days it's so hard. You don't really see the internet unite on anything these days.
No.
This is the rare case where everyone hated it.
It took like a day for there to be contrarians, because there always are. But like initially, everyone was like, "This is awful. This is slop."
Yeah. Another thing is like,
even the like rage bait right wing grifters on Twitter hated it.
I'm like, I just real quick, GC. I just want to get in this. Like, I feel like the word slop has done a lot of damage to cultural lexicons and how we discuss things. But I am happy it existed so that every single person online could at once yell at NVIDIA and say, "This is slop.
Yeah.
You are trying to slop games.
You are selling me garbage."
And they're mad. Like, they did not expect this, which I don't know how the fuck you don't expect this response. Sorry, continue. I'm just like, oof.
I think it's even more damning because like all I did at first was see the photos, right? And I remember my friend, I sent it to my friend, a friend of mine that I talked to about like industry stuff like this. And they responded, they were like, "I cannot wait for someone to be using this technology, or for a demo to be showing this off at like a live conference, and for the person controlling the demo to actually start moving the camera around like an actual person playing a video game." Because I cannot wait for this to make everything look fucking terrible, and for the fucking program to crash, because
all the shots in the trailer or the video they showed are just static shots.
Are you guys
cherry-picked.
Also ready for the inevitability of visual glitches getting fed into the GenAI and it trying to figure out why I don't know, your character in an Assassin's Creed game's arm is like flying all the way.
Why isn't this Assassin's Creed character's face not invisible? All we should see are its eyes and mouth, and then it'll like try to like Gen AI the Unity bug that's infamous because it's part of its data set, because it collected the part of the data set where people were making fun of that when it came out. Like, and then on top of that, if you've never seen that shit in motion, by the way, I highly recommend you go watch it in motion. People's faces swath around the head as if it is like a chunk of like vegetable in soup. Like their facial features are like swimming on their face. It's fucking freaky. It looks like shit.
There's a lot of stuff in video games that is visual trickery, right? Like
Of
the
course.
developers duct taping over things so that you don't see the bones of it.
Yeah.
And I don't, GenAI is not going to recognize that.
It's adding things that are the exact kind of thing that developers go out of their way to hide, if that makes sense. It is adding the visual errors, and like I would even say, like, what happens when, forget visual, just visual, what happens when the fucking filter decides that an important item on the ground is not that? What happens when it decides, oh no, that's not an object that you can pick up, and it unhighlights it in the environment or something?
Yeah.
Or what happens when your main character turns into Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, I don't want that.
It was the first Mafia game that like despawned cars after they got out of a certain point of view or like range of view of your character, because it would crash the game if they didn't do that. They couldn't render too many cars at one time.
So now you're just gonna have like extra cars pop. Like what? Yeah, that's a really good example though. Like, what if that fucking filter decides, no, there should be more cars here? like even if it doesn't crash the game, like that's not representative of what those people made. It's not representative of the artist, of the developer. It's your Jensen Huang is posturing himself as, oh, I can take your game and accentuate your vision, when in reality the vision is the game that the artist put out. That's the vision. They made cuts and changes, but that was part of the process of creating that thing. So like you can't just change that shit and act like you're doing it better.
Do you think this was only made for like shareholders because, like, you know, stock price, AI, money go up?
That's
but then like
absolutely.
But they didn't think that like the public response would be so bad that might like get in the way of that.
Yes.
I mean, Gen AI companies are really trying to court the United States government right now too. So like any tech demos or product announcements or things that they can hold up, I think they're trying to do right now, especially because they're trying to get a bunch of contracts and funding.
Like the only positive here is, again, this takes so much hardware to run it that like a console's never going to be able to do this. I don't even think next gen consoles are going to be able to do this.
But once they start lying to you that the next graphics cards can do it, they're going to charge even more of an arm and a leg for their graphics cards. And this is going to price out more and more people out of the PC market, and they will have to default to consoles. Oops, wait, consoles don't exist anymore. So like, in long term, this will be another reason why when this bubble pops, everything will come crashing down. And I think that's why they did this, because they realized the bubble is about to pop. So they put out another bullshit, speculative, like empty promise of like what a technology can do. But there is none. They're not developing anything. They're not improving that technology. They're not making that technology actually useful. They're not doing anything with that technology that isn't just to generate like speculative estimated profits for whenever, you know, in the long run, so that people invest. So like, that's why it's a fucking filter. That's why it's not like any real technology anymore. So like, what does NVIDIA do?
It's recycling what's already out there.
Yeah.
Right.
What does NVIDIA do now? What exactly is NVIDIA? What exactly does NVIDIA's research and development do now? If you're just giving me what is essentially just a Gen AI filter that's been out for forever, but you're telling me that it needs a whole other graphics card right now, but eventually they'll refine it. Like, what does that mean? What do you do? Like what is it? What is it that you actually sell now? Like, because you're not selling processing power. You're not selling graphics rendering anymore.
They're selling smoke and mirrors. This is, you know, when we all learned about the Great Depression in high school or middle school, how credit was basically invisible money and everybody pulling out too much credit caused everything to crash. This is kind of the same thing, at least in my eyes, and the way that I understand it is that everyone is investing in something that is not real. They are hoping will become real, that will never become real. because this technology will never get there. And then everything's going to fucking crash.
The video game crash of the 1980s is the same reason why that happened. It was a lot of speculative interest. It was a lot of regurgitating and recycling and being very derivative and putting out the same crap. Like whatever was successful, you would get 50 of the same thing. They would make big promises that they never delivered on just to attract people to invest. They produced nothing valuable. People did not buy it. And then the market crashed. And that's what you're going to see here again. And we go through it every time. And anyone with a brain and access to the internet and knows how to actually use Wikipedia will tell you, hey, we've been through this before. But, you know.
Gamers Nexus put out a really good video on the digital trends thing that I would recommend people watch.
Gamers Nexus is usually pretty on the money for a lot of things. I think they're like the one tech place that I trust with any modicum of like.
Yeah, because I definitely don't trust Digital Foundry now. So
no, it's a shame because they were my go-to. Like, yeah, they would always have like occasionally head ass opinions,
Sure.
but like they felt by
reasonable.
and large. Yeah, but like you would be able to get it. Like now that like half of the team lost their credibility, it's just like fuck.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to trust them going forward because even the team members that weren't involved in this, they're going to be associated with this video regardless. So it's a bit of a shame.
And also, it's hard to not look at this and be like, what did NVIDIA say to you to get this to happen, right?
And how could you believe it? That's the thing. How could you believe it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like, I think they just did. Like, there's a lot of people who like, oh, secretly they took a big check. And I'm like, no.
I don't think they didn't get paid for it. But
I think they just went, oh, a direct access to NVIDIA. Yes, please. Yummy, yummy. Okay, whatever you say. They didn't think about anything. And it's like, it's the most boring answer, but I think that's just reality. I
think it's just people that are tech brained. We know people who are tech brained, Cullen, and they will believe anything and buy into the hype of anything so long as they think it is shiny and new and holds some promise.
Yeah, I've spent enough time in San Francisco to understand that.
Yeah.
It's annoying to be like a bit tech brained myself, but to have like a heart. Because it's like I can't get excited for hardware anymore. Fuck.
Well, you have a classic love of technology, which is you're not chasing it because it's popular. You're chasing it because of the science behind it, because of the technology, because of the actual like game. Practical, applicable purposes for it.
I love my doohickeys.
Yes, like
fuck you, NVIDIA.
Unfortunately, a lot of more modern appreciators of technology are just obsessed with the cutting edge. They're not really interested in what technology does. They're interested in the promise of technology being cooler, I guess.
I wish we had flying cars.
I wish so as well, because the car crash compilations on YouTube would get so much funnier. Like, do you realize how cool it would be to live in a world where at any point a car could fly into your window?
I also just miss the era of like rich people investing in libraries and shit, like as like a legacy instead of this like weird fucked up technology. I don't know, man. I wish the
like investing in things that are going to accelerate our end, essentially.
Yeah, just please give us public libraries back. But I was talking to Jake about this, not to like wildly go off of tangent regarding rich people investing shit. We were talking about this because I was like, I don't understand why people are like investing in like, for example, like speculative AI nonsense and all this shit other than just being selfish. But like, don't you want something that stays behind and has a legacy, right? Like the Rockefeller Center or like one of these huge museums or libraries.
No, that's the thing, they don't.
No, well, it's more that, okay, like, and this is, call me fucking crazy, but a lot of these people are white supremacists, and they see people like removing names off of statues or libraries or buildings, right? So effectively that legacy is removed. So why would they invest in something tangible if that can get torn down? And I wonder if they consider that or think about it, or if they're just fucking idiots. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit because we live in unprecedented times where people are comically evil.
That's the thing, cause it could be both. Because like I definitely agree with you, but in my mind, it's just people interested in short-term gains. Like they're juicing
it. They're juicing it.
It's like, for me, it's that I believe it is mostly stupidity. And you know, one of the great things about stupidity is that it, you know, it's best friends with white supremacy. But like, it's just fucking, no one's thinking about the future. Everyone's just like now. Yay.
We see a lot of rich people too are really bad doomerists too. Like they really do believe in like the end coming, and so like they're just going to get as much as they can now and enjoy as much, like maybe not enjoy is the right word, but like
hedonism.
They just want to accrue as much. Yeah. They want to be hedonists before it all ends.
Anyways, this was a video game podcast.
Yeah.
You know it wasn't. It never was.
It's all linked.
Tied to the darkness.
So that was DLSS 5 and losing a very prominent tech oriented review channel torpedoing their credibility. And then there was the apology video.
Yeah, that is the thing where it's just like, we don't need to get too much into the apology video. It's just like, it's so funny how little they understood why people were mad at them.
They were upset that they did. I believe the crux of the video was that we're sorry we didn't wait to see how other people felt about it, which was not the problem.
No, it's the fact that you guys kind of showed yourself as like art illiterate. But also, it is incredibly scummy to be like, it's never all right to send us death threats. Anyway, here's a comment we picked out that says that people really like, basically a joke about pitchforks. And I'm like, you guys don't care.
Wait, what?
Like, first of all, like, okay, so they said that they basically brought up uncredible death threats that they received. And then made it like read a Patreon question that joked about like, you know, pitchforks. And I'm like, I just, death threats are never okay. I just doubt that you guys got them. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think what you actually got was a lot of people saying, wow, I am threatening to kill my Patreon subscription because you guys suck.
Oh, okay.
That was a bit of a joke, but still, like, I think people are mad at them and they don't want to support them. And there was a separate incident where like people got a little mad at John, even though John wasn't in the video. But then John, these Blue Sky posts are all deleted now, so unfortunately you can't look it up. But I was there in the moment seeing it happen, where John was name searching Digital Foundry and basically being like, God, you want me to be out of a job? You want me a little guy with like emojis and everything, like cry faces, like, you want little old me to not have employment because of a video?
That's not the point.
And it's like
people are allowed to be upset about this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not okay with trying to guilt people out of being upset about this.
Yeah, and it's like, obviously, if anyone actually were to give the like death threats, that's not cool. But like, look, I think that I don't like how they framed their apology. It irked me. And I just think, as someone who has kind of like experienced like I've had depressive thoughts. I've lost friends to like that depressive, like, you know, nature of it. I just thought like using that as a crutch and that is my interpretation of it, was just not great. And I think if they actually cared about death threats, they wouldn't immediately make light of it. And when they brought up death threats, it did not seem like they cared.
It seems weird to make jokes about that after you feign suicide ideation on social media.
And like the thing is that just in general about all this thing is that it's like their apology wasn't really an apology. It's very obvious that the two guys who were in the video who ended up God, I can't believe we're talking about Digital Foundry all episode. Fuck, that sucks. I'm sorry, listener. I get heated about this kind of shit. But like the two guys who were in the video and were glazing this shit, if you watch their apology video, it's very obvious that they have not changed their opinion in any way. They just reworded it a little to be a little bit more skeptical sounding. But, you know, now they have the optics of being like, everyone was mean to us and we apologize. So now, like, very quickly, everyone, like, the tune online shifted away from Digital Foundry fucked up and we don't trust them anymore to it's like, oh, see, but they apologized. I don't know, I just hate, like, fucking how people have, like, kind of mastered the art and the science of the internet apology. Fucking, there's no more
non-apology.
Like, the non-apology, the optics of looking sorry, just so people can be like, no, but see, they said it was fine. And then every time someone's like, oh, I don't watch Digital Foundry because that one time they, you know, glazed NVIDIA and DLSS 5, you go like, oh, but you see, there was a video once that I remember people talking about where they said they were sorry and they don't care about that anymore. And it's like, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Fucking annoying.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just glad that for the next 7 years, I will be playing all my games on a Switch too, which would blow up if you ever tried to do this on it. And like, I think while like I am doomering about the future of GenAI, and I always am, I think that with how expensive everything's getting, people are going to be holding on to these cheaper consoles, which cannot do this bullshit. And developers are going to have to make games around this cheaper like hardware. So like for the foreseeable future, this will not have any meaningful application. But I do look forward to the compilations of people trying to run it and it looking bad.
I'm very glad I upgraded my PC 7 or bought a new PC 7 months ago because I'm not going to be able to do that for the foreseeable future.
I'm still like, because I drove like 5 hours away to a different town to a micro center to like help my girlfriend buy like a pre-built. And like when we were there, I was like, just kind of like, should I buy a pre-built and then like rip all the parts out and then use it for my computer? Fuck. That sounds good right now. And I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
House.
Buying it. Well, I don't own the house, but as a couple, we own the house.
Yeah. I mean, like I bought, like I upgraded my entire rig to play Monster Hunter Wilds. The only like outdated part of my PC is the graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, I don't want to buy a 50 series, especially with all that, what's that like old codec they like removed? You know, the one that broke a bunch of old PC games.
Yeah. I did buy, I usually do a custom build, but this time because stuff was already starting to spike in price.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed a new PC because mine was going out. And at that point it was genuinely cheaper to buy a pre-built.
Oh, pre-builds are the move right now.
Yeah. I got a 5070 in mine.
My girlfriend spent $2,000 on a pre-built. This was her first computer she's ever bought. So she was like, all right, fine. And I was looking at like what she spent and the specs she got. I'm like, babe, you have a better computer than me now. And like, she doesn't even like, you know, she like, she for the first time yesterday, she started doing like 3D modeling again on it. And like, that's about like, she does not play like fancy games.
Mm-hmm.
She probably is like, it's that like meme of the guy buying the new graphics card and then playing visual novels on it. And those are our strongest soldiers and we must protect them.
Yeah.
But like she bought it to last.
Which is smart right now because we don't know how long it's going to take for anything to get reasonably priced in any way again.
Yeah.
If you have the means to buy a computer, this is the time to buy a computer. Well, the time was a year ago, but it's always the present. I'm like, you know, with whatever money I can like save between like, you know, or like I have after like savings and bills and like now gas, like I'm looking at more hardware. I'm like, You hear about those new like $600 like MacBooks?
Oh yeah, I did hear
The
about
Neo?
that. Yeah.
I'm eyeballing one of those like crazy right now.
Yeah, I bought like a $350 laptop last year just so I'd have like a decently
write on.
reliable travel thing to use.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of why I want one. Is just like I'd love to be able to write on something like that's convenient and that I own.
What was it?
Well, the MacBook Neo.
Oh, right. You're okay. I thought
I'm still looking at that.
I want like a new. I want one of those. Those things look good.
The glowing
have you
reviews
seen the,
apparently.
Have you seen the notebooks?
No.
They're like I forgot the one that I was looking at called, but it's like it looks like a notebook that only has like one page on it, right? And then you write on it and it actually like interprets your handwriting and then locks it in. So you can write by hand, right? Or you can write and then it'll just like
it's like a tablet.
Yeah, but it'll like assume what you're writing and then put it into font as you're writing.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. I forget what.
Are we sure that doesn't use AI?
No, it doesn't. This has been out for like
Remarkable.
Yeah, that's what I just saw when I Googled it. Is it GC?
No, it's not this one. It's not this one. It's like it actually has like a little like flap. You can buy like a little like cover for it that makes it look like an actual notebook.
One of the reasons why I was looking at this like MacBook Neo though is that I'm like, I wonder if I might like their like Mac's I guess software set, like for like, you know, the QuickTime, is that their editing, like video editing, whatever, like their Final Cut, because like I've heard Final Cut's amazing. And God knows I'm not doing like any
that too, yeah,
complicated video edits anymore. Like the shit I edit is like super simple, so I'm like I don't know. I have a house sitting gig in like a couple weeks to like while my family goes to Disney, and I'm like, this might be able to cover a laptop. But who knows?
I mean, like you said, it might be good to just make the investment now.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, you technically don't need a laptop. Laptop, like, especially you have like a desktop. It's just like it's one of those real nice to haves. But like, also, I'm like, I don't really go on I'm not really like I don't do laptops anymore. Like, I definitely don't game on them. I literally would just have this to, like, you know, browse occasionally and write. But it's like, you know, your phone can browse. Technically,
that's
your
what
desktop.
I used to get Chromebooks for. When Chromebooks first came around, they were like super cheap, and they were great to just have to like surf the web and just write occasionally.
That's exactly.
I think this is the response to that. Is kind of what I'm getting, and honestly, it's like good, more competition, cheap. Like I need this to be a success.
Chromebooks fucking suck now.
Yeah,
they used to be good.
Yeah,
but now like everything Google sucks now. So
But like I've seen reviews of this, it looks great. It literally is just like it's using like a mobile chipset, I think, of like from an iPhone, and I'm like, that's probably all you need for something like this.
I will say that like as someone who's only had a Chromebook and like takes it basically everywhere I go, whenever I'm like out and expect to be like sitting around or whatever, you know, to get writing done once in a while. I used to go out to the bookstore a lot, but I stopped because I stopped having work related to that. But nowadays, I think it was at MagFest this year, Cullen. I took it with me. The year before, even it was like the MagFest before last. And I took it with me, and I was sitting there in the hotel room, and I was like, man, it's nice to have a Chromebook that I can just like write stuff on. Like when I'm on a trip and I really want to play games, like I don't bring my Switch, and when I do, I don't want to play my Switch games. I want to play my Steam library. So I'm like on the other side of that whole like I want an electronic that does like a specific thing that's utility. Now I'm like I don't need a gaming laptop, but I want like a nice enough laptop that can run some stuff, like some like really small little game, like a thing that'll play like stuff like Slay the Spire, you know?
Yeah,
if this was like a segue into like dissing the Steam machine, it would be like an all-timer.
Well, you know me so well.
You actually? You would?
You want to talk about the Steam machine and how it
What's
launched
there to talk about?
and we were so excited, and now it's so obvious that thing is never coming out.
It's genuinely stupid to announce like that at the time they did, because anyone like we're idiots and like we could see it coming. Oh, he died. Told him not to eat dairy. He's lactose intolerant.
That'll do it.
I just wish he didn't DM me right before he died and said, I actually don't believe any of that shit I said negatively about DLSS 5. I love DLSS 5 and I love generative AI. I just thought, like, you know, it's kind of a poor thing to go out on.
I can't fondly remember him anymore.
I know, it's a shame.
I'm gonna have to unfondly remember him.
Oh, it's okay. I do that all the time. But I don't know. Oh yeah, Steam Machine. Fucking anyone with a brain would be able to tell you that that was not going to pan out. Like, given like hardware and where things are going. So like you assume naively that they had a plan, and ever since announcement, they've just been stumbling down the steps and be like, no, we don't have a plan.
I don't even know. Like, I think Steam Decks went back on sale yesterday or something, but
oh, for real?
I saw someone note that you could buy one of the models, but I don't even know that Steam Decks are going to be purchasable for the next year or two, honestly.
Yeah, which is a shame because that's a decent piece of hardware.
Steam Deck, yeah. I don't really I don't take it with me anywhere, but I like having it at home.
Since I got a Switch 2, I'll be honest with you, I don't know where my Steam Deck is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't turned mine on since I got the Switch 2, to be honest.
Somewhere in this house, but I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think like what I'd even play on it now, because I got 120 FPS little super box here that is magic and can do crazy DLSS, the good kind, that just makes games like Resident Evil Requiem run at like a mostly 60 FPS.
I love my Switch too.
I just need
Square Enix to release a native version of the Kingdom Hearts games on Switch.
I've been waiting, genuinely. I'm
not going to play that cloud bullshit. I'm just not.
No. I mean, in the same vein, I've been like, because, you know, there's like sales right now, and I was going through Resident Evil games on sale. I picked up a couple on the eShop because I wanted to play 5 again, and Revelations 2. And I saw the like the cloud ports for 2 and 3 remake, and I'm like, I'm waiting to play Resident Evil Remake 2 and 3 on this little device. It's going to be so good.
Have you ever played any cloud version on the Switch?
So I actually played the cloud version of the Kingdom Hearts games. I reviewed it for RPG Site. And I mean, like, at the time, like, my internet was good enough where I was like, this is adequate and nothing else. It is, unfortunately, it's like it's a bit ridiculous though. If they were to make the Kingdom Hearts like native ports and then not like give people some kind of like discount or upgrade if you bought the cloud versions, because I'm sure some people did.
That would not.
I think I mentioned this while you were in like one of these episodes before, but my little sister is getting into games now, and they got a Switch 2 for like my parents' house. And my mom was asking about the Kingdom Hearts games, and I had to be like, okay, so it says there's going to be all the games on Switch. They are lies. Do not believe that. They require an internet connection. You don't own them. Please, please. Like, I'm sure they're coming out at some point. Just wait. I promise. Do not have her have to deal with that.
There's no way in hell I could get my parents to understand what a cloud version of a video game is.
No.
There's no way.
I was like,
they don't even understand what it means for me to be a freelancer. Like, I'm pretty sure my mom thinks I just am not.
You have no
job and being lazy right now. So
I'm just like, I love this little box. Didn't Nintendo do some head ass shit recently that made it was like Because every time like I go, oh, I love Nintendo. They're so good. They make great devices. They do something, and I'm like, oh, bad Nintendo.
Did they? The last
I
thing
don't
I
know.
remember is them suing the government.
Oh, that was pretty good. Like I'm just waiting. waiting
I
for
mean, it'll
something to
happen again. Nintendo always does that.
Yeah.
They always love to give you a reminder that they are in fact a giant corporation.
Oh wait. No, they actually did something cool. The fucking boost mode. Have you had a chance to mess around with that?
No, I haven't. I've only been playing Final Fantasy IX on my Switch right now, which is not going to really benefit from it.
It is maybe one of the greatest like value enhancers I've seen in an update.
I've heard really good things. I know Xenoblade 2 really benefits from it.
For anyone who doesn't know, essentially they have a new option in the system settings of Switch 2 now, where it changes how backwards compatibility works when you're playing in handheld mode, and it tricks the system, like tricks the games into thinking they're in docked mode when they're in handheld mode. Because on the Switch 2, if you play in backwards compatibility, it'll still run the 720p versions of the game because you're playing in handheld mode. That's the different profile. Mm-hmm. But now it'll let you do the 1080p max profile, which means that like you don't have to worry about like poor pixel scaling for like, the 720p asset to jump up to 1080p, or if your game is running at a lower resolution than 720p in handheld mode, which most Switch games did, you now get to run at the docked version. So like basically every game in backwards compatibility has overnight just been improved substantially. I was playing like I re-downloaded a billion games to try this out with. Crisis Core is much better. The
Astral Chain was one I heard someone else was playing that really was really good.
I believe that. Did you play the Crossbell games on Switch at all?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So great versions of those games, but there's a bit of a problem where if you play them in handheld, all of the assets are 720p, and they particularly did not scale up to the 1080p screen on Switch 2 and handheld. Now you can just because the Switch 2 screen is a 1080p screen, like natively, that game is 1080p 60 FPS in dock mode. You flip a switch, all of the art and text assets look perfect now. It is absurdly good looking. This is also really good for visual novels, where just pulling one out of my ass. The Ace Attorney Investigations collection. It was very clear all the art assets were made for 1080p in mind, and when you played in handheld, it scaled them down to 720p poorly. So it just didn't look the best, playable, but just not the best. So any the VN emulation collection remaster is now probably just as good as you could expect it to be overnight.
Interesting. I bet the HD 2D games are probably pretty good as well. I haven't tried.
Yeah, I played Octopath 2, which I don't know if you played Octopath 2 on Switch 2 or Switch. That was not really a good looking game on that system. But you're able to play it at a higher base resolution on your Switch 2 handheld. Persona 5 Royal is another one where I believe it was 500p game in handheld. Well, if you played it in dock, it becomes an 800p game. So if you play that with this boost mode on handheld, then you're basically almost there to match the resolution on the screen. And it looked so good that I'm like, oh, damn, I could go for another P5R playthrough.
That's such a good update because I have so many Switch 1 games, right? And I'm kind of like, which ones do I want to play again now?
Oh, if I showed you my library, it would scare you. I heavily invested in on this system for buying all my games. And now it's just my backlog is going to be so much more appealing in the, in the coming drought.
It is nice to see after they did the Switch 2 version for Xenoblade X. And
God,
that was not good.
So I don't know if you saw any of the videos on it. Good Vibes Gaming put out a comparison for this. If you play in handheld now, The Switch 1 game in boost mode looks significantly better than the Switch 2 edition in handheld mode. It is a higher resolution and has none of that AI bullshit.
That is such a Nintendo thing. Like that would only happen on Nintendo systems, right?
Well, see, the weird thing is like they've usually been really good with the Switch 2 editions. Like they're pretty.
Most of them happen, yeah.
So like for that one, I'm like, well, who did you give it to that messed that up?
I can't imagine it was Monolith either, because Monolith is like one of Nintendo's big tech developers.
No, from what I understand, all the upgrades they're doing like most of the additions went to Panic Button. I don't know if you're aware of them.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So like they just kind of outsourced a lot of them and they've been fine. So it's like I don't know. I really don't know what they were thinking. Doesn't make any damn sense. It's like I can't like fucking I don't know. But also like it's kind of weird like on the more like software side, do they have anything coming out that we know about like for this year?
Not Yoshi and the book. I don't remember what the name of that game is, but the Yoshi game comes out in May. And then Fire Emblem doesn't have a date. I think Fire Emblem
that one's crazy.
One. Yeah. I mean, I wish we had a date for Fire Emblem.
When they showed that off, it looked basically finished.
It looks good.
Not like, well, like it looked very far along, like much further along than like, Three Houses was when that first
time. And we haven't heard anything else. And I think that's the only two things outside of third party stuff, like Rebirth has a release date and stuff like that, and Adventures of Elliot. But first party wise, I think it's just Yoshi and Fire Emblem. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
There's got to be there's usually an April direct, so I would be surprised if we don't get one in the next month.
I'm like I really hope they're able to get like Fire Emblem out, but because honestly, like if they want to like recapture the magic of like Three Houses, you got to put that out in summer. Like I sincerely believe that the reason that game kicked off so hard is that everyone was on like summer break.
Yeah, it's got to be a game that people can dig into. You don't want it to come out around other big stuff.
No.
And considering how it looked, like I feel like that's got to be their summer game.
Yeah, because I'm looking at like after Yoshi, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, wait, I'm on the eShop right now. I'm browsing. I am only seeing Yoshi.
I'm serious. I think that's it.
That's crazy.
Oh, there's Splatoon Raiders as well. That's the other one. But that doesn't have a date either.
Tamagotchi Life.
Oh yeah.
Is in April.
And that's also Switch 1.
Yeah, I think it's only Switch 1.
Oh, is it?
Maybe. And like I'm not on the Nintendo's over party here, but I'm like, okay, it's like everyone was complaining about the Switch 2 launch lineup, and I'm like, guys, we are getting a game every month. Like I had no issues with that. And like I'm like
trying to keep that cadence up. It's just kind of bizarre that they aren't really announcing stuff in a very quick fashion. I mean, theoretically,
with like third parties.
Yeah.
Oh, but continue.
Yoshi is that April or May is Yoshi?
That's May.
Okay. So they don't have anything for April right now.
Well, April is Tamagotchi. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So April, Tomodachi Life, May Yoshi, presumably like Fire Emblem or Splatoon would be June and the other July.
You know what their March game is? I totally forgot. Hold on, let me get the exact title for this. Super Mario Bros. Trademark Wonder, Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Meetup in Bella Bell Park.
I forgot that game came out because everyone has just been playing Pokopia.
Yeah, and Pokopia was there. Was that this month? Was that last month?
Yeah, it was this month because it came out like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay, but like that wasn't even really a Nintendo game.
Yeah,
maybe it's fine.
It still counts.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Counts. So like, I'm sure it's like it's business as usual, but I'm like, all right, guys, it's I'm genuinely surprised that like you did not have a big blowout on like all your stuff like coming out for the year.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm sure it's gonna like in, you know, like you said, April is we're probably gonna get something.
Yeah, they better come out swinging with their next Nintendo Direct. It's also weird that it's the 40th anniversary of Zelda and nothing's really going on.
That's the craziest part. Like I think it's been a couple years since it's like what 3 years since Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, and then didn't the Zelda one come out? Echoes of Wisdom that came out last year, right?
No, I think that was 2 years ago, and last year it was the Muso game.
Yeah, you're right.
And that game's pretty all right.
It's weird to release all those Zelda games before the 40th anniversary and then not have anything for the 40th anniversary.
I'm sure we're gonna have like a remake.
Gotta have something
or something, but like
there's been those rumors of the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess like remakes forever.
Yeah, but like they just seem not really too like substantial.
Yeah.
Now because it's like, you know, they're just dumping everything on NSO. And like, you know what? I don't think I would even mind if we got GameCube Twilight Princess because I've never played GameCube Twilight Princess.
I only played Wii.
Yeah, same. And I'm like, I hope that y'all can do some magic and make it widescreen, you know, give people kind of some sort of,
like, I do like Wind Waker HD though, and I kind of would prefer to get that version than like GameCube Wind Waker.
See, I have too much beef with the you know, like the some of the quality of life and the visual changes. I don't think it's bad, but like stuff like the quick sale, things like that.
Yeah,
I'm not a quick sale fan.
I get that.
But it's like, you know, you don't have to use the quick sale. I'm just also just like, I got like I had a sick little cackle to myself when they announced that it was like a GameCube exclusive. Like the, you know, the NSO. And I was like, good. Yeah. You have to play it this way now. But you know, the other side of the coin where it's like, oh, well, it's Nintendo. They don't know how to do emulation.
Yeah, I got Path of Radiance, and that's the only thing I really wanted. Although I would take Eternal Darkness.
I've heard good things about that. I've seen the Civi video. That's about like, you know, that's all pretty much my only experience with that.
I got to download Gale of Darkness. That just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, I played a bit of it. I forgot how they like really just like throw you into the deep end of that game. And it's like I need to play more. Pokopia kind of got me in a mood to play more Pokemon. That I have to play an old Pokemon game, and I go like, oh no, I don't want to do that.
You tried Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet on the boost mode?
Oh, I have not.
I'm actually curious about that now.
Well, it's like I think I don't like Sword and Shield. I think Scarlet and Violet got the whole like Switch 2 upgrade.
Yeah.
Well, not the upgrade, but like an update that just lets it run like, you know, native res. And I'm like, oh, cool. Be curious how like native res gets like, you know, plays nicely with like an update that just, you know, lets you use everything in the system. But like I'm really just like, fuck, I need Fire Emblem. Like I
just need a date for it. I just want to know when it's coming, so I can plan around it. That's what I need. Because I know when that game comes out, I'm going to need 100 hours. You know.
Because like right now, I'm thinking about what is coming out that I'm excited for, and it's nothing. It's like it's Pragmata, which I'll play on Switch 2, sure.
I'm excited for Onimusha as well, but we don't have a date for that.
I'm scrolling through like stuff coming out, and it's like, I guess I'm excited to buy a port for Rebirth to have it on a system I'd actually finish it on. Sure, like Elliot, like pretty much June is going to be when I start getting excited about video games again. But like for the next 3 months, it's a drought.
And then everyone is gonna play GTA 5 when that if that hits this year. I'm not
convinced. Is that coming out this year?
It's supposed to be.
I'm looking at like the other stuff coming out, at least like on the eShop, and it's like all ports and remasters. I'm like, it's a bit dire right now. It's like, yeah, I might restart Time Stranger just to play it on my Switch too. Yeah, there's a decent chance. Oh,
A lot of ports and remasters right now.
And it's like, yes, I will in fact play Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots on my Switch 1.
That's coming to Switch, the Legacy Collection?
It is.
Oh,
and I'm like, I will tell anyone here, like, you might be like allured by the promise of a of like, you know, a fancy Switch 2 60 FPS version of Guns of the Patriots, or like a PC version or a PS5 version. You trust Uncle Cullen when I say no. You have to get as close to the PS3 experience as possible. Play that on a Switch 1. You need that chunky frame rate and that low resolution.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't got that, then like fucking that's not Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah, and I have not played that game in at least a decade because I didn't want to plug my PS3 back in. So I've been waiting for any other way to play that game.
See, the thing is, me too, and I'll definitely be playing that on my Switch too. But I will be buying the Switch 1 physical copy of it just to have that and to play on my Switch 1 just to see how chunky it gets. It's like the only new game coming out that we have like a concrete date for is Elliot. That's it. That's all I'm excited for.
Is Elliot
crazy.
Switch exclusive?
No, I think it's on everything.
I think that's coming to other stuff, yeah.
I'm like, did you play the demo for that?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Definitely needs to be like, there's improvements that are needed, but
yeah. That was one of those things where I was like, I can tell, like I had to stop playing the demo, not because it was bad, because I'm like, okay, cool. This is not going to give me the final like experience on this. Like whenever that team puts out a demo, it means they are hard at work taking feedback and changing almost like every part of it. So
yeah, every time they've done that, like it's pretty drastically changed.
But and I guess we're getting Sky second.
Oh,
at some point.
Yeah. Is that September?
We don't have a date. I think they said fall, so it's probably like September. Oh wait. Fucking Kyoto Xanadu, I guess, is in July.
Yeah.
But like they're being weird with the American publisher, so we don't really know. I don't know.
Sorry, audience, for Kyoto Xanadu, but that feels like one of those games that like no one is going to play when it comes out.
It's okay. I'll play it if they let me. I don't know. Again, the fact that they don't have the fact that they don't have a publisher lined up is kind of weird.
Yeah, they have to have. I mean they have to know who it is. They're just not saying. I would think. I could be wrong.
I'm just like, it's, you know, they announced on an English direct it was coming out in summer, and now it's like I'd be the most Falcom thing in the world if that just slips and just, you know, we have like a multi-month wait for it. It's like we got a bit too eager with worldwide release Falcom games, and now they're like, no.
Everyone's resources is going to the next Trails game.
I would not be surprised if that's not like that's going to be like day and date in the West.
Oh, I think the next one definitely will be.
But yeah, sorry audience, you caught us with checking in on the state of game releases. I guess we can do questions now.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not fucking playing. You playing anything but Crimson Desert?
I mean, honestly, no. I've been in Crimson Desert hell for 100 hours, so I don't have anything else to talk about.
It's been nice since finishing Requiem that I'm just like, oh, I don't have anything to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Let's see. I believe I know the first one. Do a quick math. Okay. I feel bad because they can't answer these, but whatever. All right. From Buster.
He can splice in their answers if he really wants to.
Let's see if he'll do that. Favorite Tom and Jerry cartoon. I think you said you were a Tom and Jerry fan.
Yeah, we kind of answered this in the Discord already, honestly.
Yeah,
yeah, the one I couldn't remember it when I Well, I saw the question. I was like, I can't remember the name of it, so I looked it up, and it was the Invisible Mouse, which is the one where Jerry like gets this paint and paints himself invisible. And it's just like a really cool use of animation without like an actual character there. And I actually watched a lot of Tom and Jerry growing up. I think it was, I don't remember what it was on. It might have rerun on Cartoon Network, or there was, I think Channel 72 was some animation channel. I can't remember the name of it, but I watched on TV, and I watched a lot of like reruns of that and old Hanna-Barbera cartoons like Wacky
like
Racers
Boomerang?
and Hong Kong Phooey and things like that.
I mostly just remember catching some on Boomerang.
Boomerang, I was part of it. Yeah,
I don't remember like any exact like cartoon. I think there's one in which there's like, it's either they bring a bunch of dogs over or like a bunch of cats over, and then like, you know, they also have to deal with like Tom, or is it, well, yeah, Jerry's the cat, right?
Jerry's the mouse, Tom's the cat.
Okay. It's like how like all of like Tom's relatives or whatever are better at catching Jerry than Tom is, or is like the dogs are. I don't know. That's the only one that stuck out to me. I don't remember a lot of like old cartoons like that. I mostly remember the idea of them instead of like, you know, the specifics.
Mm-hmm. Tom and Jerry's great though. Genuinely one of the best like animated shows ever made.
Oh, the animation's like absurd. It's so good.
There was some modern movie they did in the 2000s, I think, where they tried to like modernize Tom and Jerry and do the live action with animated characters thing. And I
think I remember that. And like, I don't think anyone watched it.
Field trip, I think.
Oh no, I think I'm crossing my. I thought they did a recent one, but I think I was thinking Looney Tunes. But that made me remember that Looney Tunes had one of those live action like animation crossover ones. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
with Brendan Fraser.
I was gonna say, wasn't Brendan Fraser in that? Yeah,
I think that movie bombed, but from what I remember, that was a good ass movie.
It bombed hard, but I remember thinking it was fun.
It was, that's it. It's just fun. I think it was really meta as well.
I don't know how old I was when it came out though.
Let me see. Let me see. Looney Tunes back in action 2003. So I would have been
12.
I was 7.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I was 7. Unless my math is like horribly wrong, but I'm pretty sure
that might have had an influence on us liking it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm sure I could like rewatch it today and just find it to be like fun. But yeah, it bombed. Oh well, it's old. And Brendan Fraser, I don't know. He's doing okay for himself. He was in The Whale.
He's come back. Yeah, that was before he like fell out of acting.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. Another question from Buster, and this is for you in particular. RPGs, we all love them, but kind of hate to binge such big games for deadline reviews. And with the Crimson Desert discussioning already taking place, I must ask, what is the most frustrating RPG experience you've ever had to get the review out?
Crimson Desert is up there, honestly.
Okay, but like hard mode, you can't say Crimson Desert.
Yeah. It's not quite an RPG, but like Star Wars Outlaws was a really brutal review experience because we literally had 4 days before the game came out. And that was like the most review I crunched of all time. The other ones I can think of that were for RPGs was Trails Through Daybreak was a little rough because that game is just so long. And with Trails games at that point, I'd played enough Trails games that I was like, I kind of feel like I need to see the ending before I can really judge this, right?
That's why I lost sleep for Horizon.
Yeah. And then Baldur's Gate. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm so grateful for Horizon. They gave us like a whole month.
I know, yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 was a little rough, only because no one got codes before launch. Every reviewer got a code on launch day. So it was more of a what outlet you worked for and how demanding the content you needed to do was. Mine wasn't too bad, but it was also kind of like I hit the 2.5 week point and I was like, I guess I need to think about getting this review out.
Did you fans of the show might do a little cringe at this one because I'm bringing it up again. Did you have to review Unicorn Overlord?
No, I didn't actually.
I think they sent codes of that like on launch day.
Did they?
I don't remember the specifics, but I did not have a lot of time to play it. And then like when I did, like I told them outright, I'm like, I want to do every single thing in this game, and we're not going to get close to launch. I'm going to need a month just to take my time with this. And then, they did. And I said it wasn't a perfect game, and everyone got really mad at me.
I think we famously are like the two people that don't like it, I guess.
Oh, thank God.
I played half that game and I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to play this anymore. And I just never played the rest of it.
See, the thing is,
it was not doing it for me.
I liked it fine enough. I just didn't love it. But I guess that if you talk too long, people think that you hate something. When I'm just like, here's all the ways I think this could be better. And I'm going to just talk a lot about the flaws because I think that's more interesting than to talk about the things it gets right, which everyone can see just looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh, you're an evil person. You're going to hell. You're going to die. And I'm like, I should have given that game like a 2. I think it'd be funny. But like stuff like that, like I think I remember FF16 was kind of a rough one to review.
Yeah,
only because the game, like I actually tried to do every single thing in that game, and it's just there's a lot of like side content.
I remember too. I had a lot of time with them, but Dragon Quest XI and Yakuza Kiwami 2 I reviewed at the same time because I had Dragon Quest XI and we got like a month and a week with it. And then Yakuza Kiwami came in halfway through that review period. So that was only brutal because I was on both of those games, and they're both very long games.
I not necessarily brutal, but I remember I had to review Stray Children and the DQ 1 and 2 remakes at the same time. And I remember thinking that like they probably should have given people another week or so for the DQ remakes because one, that's a decent, you finish that on a weekend. 2 is a behemoth. That game is so long.
I played half of DQ1 and I just skipped to 2 and to play more of that.
I was like, I gotta do it because I gotta be able to like talk about the fact that I think it's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's an interesting version of 1. I'm glad it exists, but I'm kind of like, yeah. 2, like if I revisit that, any of those remakes, it's gonna be 2. But any other memorable frustrating review stories?
Thanks. I mean, I'm sure there are others, but none that I can really remember as like really standing out.
All right. Speedwagon asks, what's the boys' favorite pizza topping?
But my simple answer is pepperoni, but I actually really like Hawaiian pizza a lot.
So. Oh my God, we should have a whole angry discussion because I don't think you should be allowed to like a topping like pineapple with the savory flavor of a pizza.
No, the sweetness is perfect, especially when you have the Canadian bacon or the ham on there. It all melds.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you like I obviously had a Hawaiian pizza growing up because it wasn't like a fucking internet meme, and you just go, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go, oh, that's good, and you move on. But now it's like you can't even do it. Like it's people are so irony poisoned that you know they have to be like, oh, you're getting Hawaiian, huh? I'm like, yeah, because it's fine.
I think it really comes down to like it's just if you like pineapple or not, because the pineapple's the dominant flavor in that situation, right?
But it's good.
Yeah. So if it's just if you like pineapple or not.
Now I have brain rot, and my go-to pizza is like not weird per se, but I don't know if I can have pizza any other way now. I like pepperoni pizza, but I must have a cup of ranch on the side.
That's how my partner is. She absolutely cannot eat pizza without ranch.
I don't know, like, because before I started doing this, I did not like ranch. And then someone like I was in college and like we went to a local pizza place and they were like a friend was like, you got to try it dipped in the ranch. Their ranch is so good. I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that. I hate ranch. Like, no, try it. And you try one slice with like a really good slice of pizza dipped in a really good homemade ranch.
Mm-hmm.
or like, store made ranch, not the bottle shit. That's like a last resort thing. You don't like get the Nature's Valley bottle to pour unless like that's like you needing like your fix.
You got
like,
the struggle meal, it's okay. But
well, that's a, like, that's like the smoking mids of drink, like ranch on pizza. It's just like you just need, you need your hit. But and I dip it in there and I'm like, fuck, my life has changed forever. It's the combo of the pepperoni, the tomato sauce, the cheese, and the ranch. That flavor combo is just, it's next level.
Mhm.
I can't even do the like ranch as the sauce on the pizza because you need the marinara.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I agree.
And
that
now
was
I'm
high
like,
school for me. Is like that was when it became a thing. Is everyone at my high school, like every Friday would be like pizza day or whatever. And I don't remember exactly when. I think it was like my sophomore year. I want to say that everyone just started eating pizza with ranch, and that's just what it was for the rest of my high school years.
you I don't know if you fuck with like frozen pizzas at all.
Oh yeah. I think we talked about like Totino's pizzas, right?
You get a
Dollar
Totino's
cardboard pizza.
because
So
you
good.
can fold like, okay, so what I'll do is like, because if I'm at the point where I'm gonna Totino's pizza, I'm already reaching for
You're already
the
at the
bottle
depths
of
with that.
ranch.
Yeah.
So like you pour the bottle of ranch all over the pizza, you make the little zigzag pattern, and then you fold it. So you grab it by like, that's another thing. I eat all of my pizza New York style now, even if it's small, because it's just a more efficient way to eat the slice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's less messy. But like then you start biting into it, and like at the bites that don't like scald the inside of your mouth, which is most, you get that delicious like combo of like the ranch and the cheap pizza. It's just but like, I can't actually go for like other pizza. Like I quite like bacon's pretty good. I'm big on like bold pepperonis, like different kinds of pepperonis.
Yeah. Mod Pizza?
Mod Pizza. That sounds familiar. Hold on.
It's like a quick pizza place where you go in. It's like
we
Subway, but for pizza almost.
We got some of those. Wait, didn't they used to have those at like malls?
Yeah, they did.
Okay,
but there's they have like a Beyond sausage kind of thing that is actually really good. I get a white
sausage
pizza
is good
with the Beyond sausage and black olives. Oh, black olives are my other one. Black olives are like all-timer pizza topping for me.
You know what's like underrated kind of like important part of the pizza no one really thinks about? If you can get like a flavor crust, changes the game.
Pizza Hut used to do that. Like when you did the custom pizza, you could get a flavored crust, and then they took it away, I think.
I don't like, so I'm only asking because according to Google, there are like over 400 of them in the US. Do you have a Jet's Pizza near you?
I think I've never had it, but I think we do.
I recommend, you got to save up a little money because the pizza's kind of expensive. Get yourself like a deep dish pizza from them. Don't get the circle one because I made that mistake once after like eating only their deep dish with the square deep dish.
Mm-hmm.
The normal pizza's not it. But get like that square deep dish pizza from them and like load it up with like Cajun seasoning on the crust and like go crazy on pepperonis. Get their own ranch. They sell it by the bottle. That's how you know they're serious. I promise you, like they are it. Like I can't do them because their pizza's too much money. But
pizza might be my favorite food, to be honest. There's nothing in the world like a good pizza.
See, I'm like, this is gonna make me sound really like bougie, but like I think mine's steak, completely opposite end of that. But I don't eat steak often, so it's allowed to persist as my favorite food because it's just not common.
I get that. I don't eat a lot of steak either. Denver has like a Denver restaurant week where you can get deals, and we went to this really nice restaurant last week and got like it's still a little expensive. So it was like $55 for like a 3-course meal kind of thing. But normally would be like $100, right? So we just did it. And I got a filet mignon, which I never get filet mignon because it's really expensive. and it was just very nice.
Filet is good. It's a bit too small for me.
Yeah.
And like the quality bump is like, it is noticeable, but not enough where I'm gonna be like that. Like I want more meat.
I agree.
For my birthday last year, my mom found this place with these like massive T-bone steaks where it's like $100 of a steak. And she like, I guess she was just like, no, I'm gonna buy you, we're gonna buy this to share. And then she was like 2 bites in, she was like, oh, I don't want steak. And so I had to eat this like massive steak myself. And I'm like, I hate to say it. I was like, damn, this is like the best steak I've ever had. And I don't want to be coming back for $100 to $150 of steak.
Yeah. That's probably like a good steak. When you get it, it's great, but I just can't justify spending that money on
the best steak you'll ever have is the steak your dad or stepdad makes on the grill.
Yeah, it's got all like the char to it.
It's got the char. He, if he's doing it right, he's got that what's that like steak seasoning? God, I'm trying to like
steak and shake or something.
No, it's like just a normal like steak rub.
Oh,
steak seasoning. I'm sure I could find the like GC, give me cut this out. I was like, you have to like lock in and get the steak seasoning at store. Okay, it's not Kinder's.
There's a few different.
Montreal. Okay, McCormick Grill Mates Montreal steak seasoning. If you've never had that,
I've never had that, but I will try.
Get some. Put it on something like it. Even a cheap steak, I think would add immensely to it. And it's like, it's not too expensive to get a bottle of that. Okay. It's at every grocery store.
Here's a question. Do you do steak sauce?
No, I think it's sauce. It's an insult. If your steak is good, it doesn't need it.
I agree.
And if I need it, then you confuse my order of a medium rare to be a extremely well done steak, and you're an incompetent idiot who doesn't know how to cook.
I might occasionally use steak sauce if I go to like a Texas Roadhouse or something.
See, even then, I feel like you got the like juices of this. I mean, how do you have your steak?
I sometimes medium rare, sometimes medium well.
Medium well, I think is still acceptable. That's like totally fine.
My partner is like well done steak. She does not want any pink.
I just don't like little pink's all right for you because you get all that juice.
With pink, yeah.
You get that good char. It's like that's the perfect like that's just perfect because the sauce comes from the juice of the meat.
Yeah, it cooks out.
And then you get like, you just dip it in the salt, like the juice, and you bite into it. And it's so like, it fucking explodes.
I am so hungry now.
I am also hungry. All right. I will move on to the next question. Let's see. I hope GC's editing this. He's like, fuck, I want steak. All right. Dumb Bitch Disease asks, what's something you love that you can never go back to? That's tricky.
I think my answer is Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, yeah, I guess problematic.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I don't know if I have anything non-problematic that I can't go back to, though.
I mean, it's like I kind of mentioned it earlier. The new Inazuma 11 was like I bought it, and then everyone kind of found out about all the GenAI stuff, and then I bought it on Switch, so it's not like I could refund it. And I'm like, well, I bought it. I might as well enjoy the game I bought for like full price because I do love the game. And it's just like every time I go to play it, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's got the stink to it now. But also in the same ballpark as you, kind of, not the creator, but like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has been hard to revisit.
Really?
Because of Edward's dub actor.
Oh, yeah. Is that Vic? Whatever?
Yeah, Vic Mignogna.
Yeah. Forgot he was in that.
Yeah. And like, granted, it's like, he does good in it. Horrible people can do good work. That's the problem. That's the dilemma. But Like, I have the Blu-rays. I'm sure I'll like, it's not like I'll ever like give him money. Like he doesn't get money every time I watch an episode.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm going to be thinking about it.
I have another one, but I don't think I should talk about it.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, it's not public.
It's a weird reason that I can't go back to it.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess that is it. Because usually, if I love something, I'll just I'll go back to it whenever I want, unless it's like something where I think like if I were to revisit this, I might not like it as much. I kind of feel that way about FF16 because I was actually
I get that. Yeah,
relatively positive on that. But it's like that game is miserable to talk about now.
I'm in the same place. I haven't replayed it, and I don't really talk about it. And yeah,
but yeah. And then final question from Bram. Do you have a favorite non-game computer program that you played with as a kid? And I'm really mad at you, Bram, because you gave the answer that's the easiest and like most relatable one in your question, which is like, as an example, there was a kid's art program called KidPix.
That was mine.
That was mine. KidPix was the shit. You like every computer had KidPix at school. I remember just going to like computer class in elementary school and just messing around with KidPix. I fucking loved it. It was awesome.
The other one, did you ever use Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing?
No, because I was really bad at typing for the longest time. And then I took one typing class in like middle school and then I got it and I got cracked at it. And now I type perfectly. And then I've just,
I guess that doesn't count though, because like they turn typing into games. So I guess it technically is a game. So it doesn't count.
So that's the thing. It's like, I can't think of anything else but KidPix.
Everything was gamified, right?
Everything was games. Like all those like learning games you played as a kid, like Putt-Putt, Pajama Sam, Putt-Putt.
Yeah, I played all of those, all the humongous games.
Oh yeah, I was big in those as a kid.
Sly Fox.
Because like my mom like got me a computer and then just bought all those like games. I think she probably bought them in one set or something. And like that was just my childhood. I had this big computer and I had those games and I just spent hours into these like digital worlds, and I was like so fascinated as a kid.
I played the backyard sports games a ton too. Backyard baseball was actually the very first video game I ever played.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I think there was like I think I might have had like a interactive art thing for like Toy Story or something at one point too that I played. It was kind of like KidPix.
I really wish I had all the old games I played around with as a kid. Because there was a lot of ones. There was like this old like side scroller where you're trying to like, I don't know. There's like some kind of like education game and you're trying to like climb up a tower or something. But like my mind's blank on like the rest of it. There's probably like so many different games.
There's a Fisher Price. You remember like the Fisher Price play sets? Did you ever have like any of those? They had like the little figures, and there's the castle and the pirate ship and stuff.
Oh, I think I did. I think I had the castle and the pirate ship.
They made a few games for those that were like not quite games and more just like interactive books almost. And there was a knights, like a medieval one that I played the hell out of. I cannot tell you how many times I played that.
Okay, I'm remembering a different one, but I don't. Okay, so it's like I feel like if I were to describe it, you might get it. The name is something like really dumb, like Flubies or whatever. There's these little purple guys, I think. Old PC game. Round purple guys. Game about little purple guys trying to cross stuff. Okay. So Zoombinis. Did you ever play Zoombinis?
I don't think I did.
Look up Zoombinis.
Zoombinis.
They're like like just the shit like that was always like really like.
Oh, I know what I did play this actually. Now that I look at it,
because you got to make them and everything. I'm just like, fuck, we don't make games like that anymore.
No.
Bring back Zoombinis.
I guess there's a version on the Google Play Store.
Oh yeah. They called it Zoombinis Logical Journey. But yeah, All right. Well, I guess that is a podcast.
Right.
We are sorry that half of our hosts died of mysterious circumstances, but they might be back next time.
Went to the nether realm.
Yeah. But yeah. If you found us, then you know where you found us, but you should keep finding us. So you should, follow us, subscribe to all of our things, and join the Discord. It's probably, you can probably find the link somewhere. And follow us on Blue Sky. And yeah. Alrighty. This is probably the part where the music starts playing us out if GC edits that to do so, but bye. We've never had to do like an outro on a 2-person thing. I mean, I guess GC and I have, but
we usually have better
does this part. Yeah, usually there's a more like natural conclusion. GC, you better have the music still play as we try to figure out how to escape this nightmare.
Go buy a pizza.
Go buy a pizza and dip it in some ranch.
There you go.
I think that's the call to action we have. Not do anything about GenAI.
You've never done it, it'll change your life.
Yeah. I had someone get legit mad at me once for recommending like dipping pizza in ranch. Like they blocked me on Twitter because they got so mad. They're like, well, I fucking hate it. It's awful. It really makes me mad that you would even consider that. I'm like, it's pizza, bro. Put the ranch in the pizza.
It is not that serious.
It is not. I think I even said like, it's not that serious. I just like it, man.
If you're going to like Italy and some like, homemade.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Michelin star thing. Then okay, don't dip that in ranch. But if you're buying like fucking Pizza Hut, you're fine.
Yeah. Now that's actually a good point. I'm not so like, a slave to my obsessions that I would like dare whip out the ranch cup in Italy. They would kill me so fast.
Yes.
They would like, they would drop my body into the ocean, and they would be justified in doing so.
100%. Yeah.
All right. Well, bye-bye everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.